Hello students, today we are going to study class 5 science, and please turn back to page number 38 of your textbook. Page number 38, okay? So we are dealing with chapter number 4, that is pollination. So we were dealing with the what is the roles of the flower. So the basic role of the flower is to attract the insect and the formation of seeds so that new plants can be grown out. Okay, so flower is made up of flower basically has these four parts, or these four rolls or layer in which the flower has been arranged. Okay, so the first part is sepals. It is also known as calyx. They are the green leaf-like structures at the base of a flower. So green leaf-like of structure, when you just pluck a flower, you just notice there is some green leaf-like structure like this that is present at the base of the flower, and its function is to protect the bud. Okay, when before blooming, okay, the flower is present in the form of bud. So the function of the sepals or calyx is to protect the flower or bud. Petals, corolla. Okay, petals help to attract the insect. The colored part of the flower, red, green, blue, pink, the petals that you observe is corolla or petals. Okay, the colorful part of the plant. These are usually colorful and sometimes sweet smelling. So they are colorful, and very nice smell come from the petals. Okay, and their basic function is to attract the insect towards the flower. Carpel or gynoecium, it is a female part. Okay, it's a female part. It lies in the center of flower, and this gynoecium is present in the center of the flower. When you will just remove the petals, then you can see in the center some structure is present, that is none other than carpel or gynoecium. Now this carpel or gynoecium, it has three parts: stigma, style and ovary. So stigma is a sticky part on which the pollen falls. So it's a sticky portion. Okay, when the pollen grains fall, it gets stick on the stigma. Style, the long tube that connects the stigma to the ovary. So this long tube is present. This connect the stigma to the ovary. And what is ovary? It contains ovules which turn into seeds. Okay, it contains ovules. This ovary is a place where the ovules are present and they convert into the seed. Okay, now come to the next page, page number 39. Okay, here in the figure you can see male and female parts of a flower. Male and female parts of the plant. This is this side, you can see the male parts, this side female parts. This is a flower. Okay, this is the pedicel. Okay, base. This is the sepal. They see this green portion is sepal, and these are the petals. Okay, and let's see the female part. Ovaries is there. Ovary is there. Style. This is the style, and this is the tip portion is the stigma. This is the female part of the flower. Now anther. This is a filament, and this portion is the anther. So this is a stamen or androecium with pollen. Okay, stamen or androecium is a male part of the plant. It is a male part, and it has two parts, filament and anther. As you can see, filament is a long stick-like structure. Okay, this is a long stick-like structure. Okay, now anther. Anther, it is a type of a stamen that contains a yellow powder called pollen grains. So on this anther here, some yellow powder kind of thing is present, and that yellow powder kind of thing is nothing. It's just pollen. Okay, understood, children? So both this petal and sepals are this petal, okay, this color portion, and sepal, they are the non-reproductive part. That means they are not responsible for the production of new plant. This carpel and stamen are the productive parts of the plant. This carpel, this structure and this structure, these two structures are responsible for the production of new plants. When sepal is there, petal is there, stamen is there, okay, and this female part is there, pistil is there, carpel or gynoecium is there. That means if both the parts are present plus petal and sepal is there, that means this flower is a complete flower or bisexual flower. Okay, an example is hibiscus, mustard. Okay, these are the examples of bisexual plants. But if the petal and sepals are there and among these two only one part is there, either the flower will be containing this female part or the male part, then what is said, it is called incomplete plant or the unisexual plant. Okay, if the petal, sepals plus stamen is there, that means it is a unisexual flower. Okay, and if this petal, sepal and all this gynoecium or pistil is present, that also means it's a unisexual plants. That means this male and female part, among this male and female part only one part will be there, and when only one part is there, male or female, among them only one part is there, that means it's a female, it's a unisexual or incomplete flower. Here are the examples of unisexual flower: cucumber, papaya, date plants. These are the unisexual plant. Okay, flower. So the largest flower in the world is the Rafflesia and it's found in the rainforest of Indonesia. Okay, the question may come like that, which is the largest flower in the world, then you should answer it that it's Rafflesia. Okay, and children, homework is page number 39, time to recall. Okay, this is your homework. Okay, this true and false. Okay, you have to choose the correct options. Two options are given over here. You have to choose the correct option. That is your homework for today. Okay children, thank you.